All right, so the confetti from the Big Brother 27 finale has barely even been swept up, and already the internet is blowing up with that one question. The one that comes up every single season. Is this show for real, or is it totally rigged? Let's get into it.
So is it a straight-up fair and square competition, or is the whole thing stacked from the very beginning? This is the ultimate debate for any Big Brother fan, and tonight we're gonna unpack it all.
Accusing the producers of messing with the game isn't some new hot take. Oh no, it is a time-honored Big Brother tradition. It's as baked into the show's DNA as slop and, of course, the Zingbot.
I mean, seriously, after all this time, the debate is hotter than ever. You can go from these super deep Reddit threads to watching people analyze it in real time on social media. The fans are like detectives, scrutinizing every single move for any sign that someone's got a thumb on the scale. Okay, so let's actually open up the case file, shall we? We're going to dive into some of the most notorious moments in the show's history that have really fueled these rigging theories for years.
So when you look at these big examples, what's really wild is how different all the accusations are. It's not just one thing. You've got game-changing twists like in season 13, claims of actual coaching in the diary room in season 18, and more recently, you hear a lot about producer plants. The idea that someone's cast just to stir the pot and is basically protected. It's a pattern, for sure.
And all these suspicions, they really boil down to four main categories. Fans are always on the lookout for competitions that seem a little too perfect for one player to win, right? Or edits that paint someone as a hero or villain when the live feeds tell a totally different story. And then you've got those leading questions in the DR and rules that, well, seem to bend for certain people. Okay, so we've heard the accusations, we've seen the history. But what if we've been asking the wrong question this whole time? What if, instead of asking, is it rigged, we should be asking, how is it produced? Because that's where things get really interesting. See, producers have this whole toolbox they can use to make sure we get compelling television. And it's not about deciding who wins on day one. It's about things like calculated casting, super strategic editing, controlling the entire environment, and giving what you might call little narrative nudges. First up, casting. Let's be real, this is anything but random. Producers are basically casting a play. They need heroes, they need villains, they need wild cards, all designed to clash and create that drama we tune in for. I mean, get this. One player from season 6 said producers found him on MySpace. That tells you everything you need to know. They are hunting for specific types. And this right here perfectly illustrates the second tool, the magic of editing. It's like there are two completely different versions of Big Brother. If you only watch the TV show, you get this tight, dramatic story. But if you watch the live feeds, well, you see a lot of people sleeping and making sandwiches. Producers are sifting through hundreds of hours of footage to carve out one perfect, drama-filled hour of TV.
Then there is the house itself, that iconic place we all know. It's not a real house. It's a television set, a soundstage on the CBS lot. And get this, in the contract the house guests sign, it says producers control everything. We're talking the power, the water, even when they're allowed to go into the backyard. It's a completely manufactured little world.
All right, now let's go into the most secret, most mysterious, and maybe the most influential room in the entire game, the diary room.
You ever wonder how every house guest sounds so perfectly witty and strategic in their DR sessions? Well, according to former players and even some crew members who've spoken out, it's because those lines aren't always their own. A lot of the time, they're being fed those lines directly by producers.
So why do they do it? It's not just about making the players sound smarter. It's about making sure that we, the audience, can actually follow what's going on. The game gets super complex, right? Alliances are flipping constantly. So those producer-fed lines, they act like narration, guiding us through the story the editors want to tell in that episode.
And it's not just about feeding lines. It's about the questions they ask. Imagine you're in there feeling pretty good about your alliance, and a producer just casually asks, but are you sure you can really trust so-and-so? Boom. That little seed of doubt is planted. It's not a direct order, but it's an incredibly powerful and subtle way to influence the game. One question could change everything.
So, after all of this, what are we actually watching every summer? Is Big Brother a legitimate game of skill and social maneuvering? Or is it just really, really good primetime entertainment?
And this is the absolute key to the whole thing. Legally, Big Brother is classified as a game show, not a sport. That's a huge distinction. It comes from those old quiz show scandals in the 1950s, and it basically gives producers the legal right to influence the game for the sake of entertainment, as long as they don't script the final outcome. And that leaves Big Brother living in this super fascinating gray area. It's got one foot planted firmly in the world of a pure strategic game, but it's got its other foot in the world of reality TV, where a good story with drama and characters is just as important, maybe even more important than a totally fair competition.
So, let's circle all the way back. Is Big Brother rigged? The evidence says no. Not in the sense that the winner is decided in a back room on day one. But is it a pure hands-off game of just skill and luck? Absolutely not. That producer's hand is always there, shaping the story, nudging the plot, and making sure we're entertained. And that leads to the final and maybe the most important question, which is for you. Now that you know how the sausage gets made, all the casting tricks, the editing, the nudges, and the DR, does that change how you watch the show? Does it make it less authentic for you? Or honestly, even more fascinating? It's definitely something to think about while we wait for season 28.